Alright, if you didn't catch my previous video, this is about changing the stock and modifying it because it looks like you can take this spacer out and make this a shorter length of pull for the Savage Axis XP or Axis 2. And it's deceiving because Savage has a line of AccuFit that you can adjust the stock and everything works out, but I assumed this was that line because it wasn't a solid stock. So what's the point of the spacer? I don't know. Axis says Savage says it's part of the design, which I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But bought this because it was on sale for my son for his birthday, and long story short, it doesn't work if you just take this off and try to put it on here. It doesn't fit. So what I did was I modified it to fit onto here by doing this. So what I did was I measured back 1.25 inches just beyond basically the where the screw sits, and I hacksawed this straight across, and then I hacksawed this down to that cut. And there's enough plastic and meat on here that it doesn't jeopardize this. The screw will still sit, and there's still a little bit of plastic goes back into here, so it kind of works out well. And then I chewed off some of the sides because it hits there. It's not the prettiest job. If I were to redo it now, knowing what I had to trim, I would have done it a little differently, and hopefully this video helps you with this. And the reason for doing this is because I wanted still, if he grows into this gun, I'm probably going to paint it and make it cool for him. I want it to be able to fit back on here. So I didn't want to trim this bottom. So what I did was, I left, some guys end up modifying this in here, if you can see. They cut that back where the screw is, right in here. They cut this back to accommodate the distance that this pad needs to travel to go in there, because otherwise it hits. If you leave this chunk on there, this is what I cut off to give you an idea. What I cut off, and then also I notched out a section up here. As you can see, what I cut off kind of fit in there, like there, that way. I cut that out and made a notch because of this piece in there. I didn't want to jeopardize the strength of the stock by cutting any of the supporting plastic that holds the screw holes in. So I modified this because, let's face it, you could probably always order another one of these. It's a lot more to order a whole stock. I would imagine these are cheaper. So if I really wanted to get the normal one back, I could put this all back together and it not be a problem. But I think this will work for both if he grows into this. So hopefully this helps you guys, because most places all guns are sales are final, and that's what happened to me. Is I bought this thinking that you could adapt this, and in the end you can't. So you gotta wiggle this on, but basically, hold on, I need 2 hands. Also, I cut these screws down to about 1.5 inches and 2 inches. The longer one going on top and the shorter one going on the bottom of the pad. Top, bottom. So once you get this screwed in, this is what you end up with, which it's not so bad. Because I shaved off the pad, there is that little bit sticking out, but other than that, and right here, there's a little bit, but I mean, it's really not going to affect anything when it comes to shooting. It's not like you're quick drawing, so I mean, it'll be fine. And then this way you can still put this on with the spacer and it won't be messed up. If I were to trim that, I would have a gap there, which would be worse if I were to go back to the spacer as he grows into it. And this is your finished product. And it's not too tough to do, and it's pretty easy. My son shot it, and it works fine for him. It's, yeah, it works. You end up with a, let's see here, about 12, I guess 12.5 inch length of pull, which is only, I think, about an inch or half inch more than the cricket that he shoots, the little 22 cricket. So, all right, I hope this video helps some of you guys out there that bought this thinking you could adapt it for a shorter length of pull, and technically per Savage you cannot, which clearly it didn't fit very well, but hopefully you can modify it like this and it helps you out. Peace.